Philips. My gosh, they really are lined up here on the central aisle. By the way, when you look at the map, this aisle is called the mandatory aisle. I think it's the mandatory wide aisle is what it's labeled. So I wonder if anybody ever, in fact, actually earlier I said, where's the mandatory wide aisle? And they told me where it was. So anyway, Philips, natural language processing and workflow have a very interesting relationship. And in one of Philips's white papers, they talk about how you can have very, very good speech recognition, but it's not worth a hill of beans unless you also have great workflow, because it has to be integrated into the workflow. So, for example, they compared 20 clicks to use speech recognition without decent workflow technology deployed versus a couple of clicks. I'll probably be coming back to that. Okay, so Sprint, Cisco, T-Systems, emergency department, very interesting workflow, productivity, kind of emphasis on visibility. That is knowing the state, patient state, task state, which is kind of as part of the business process management workflow technology bailiwick, although they don't give it that terminology. Okay, and look, we're already down to the 2200s, and 3M again. Now, EHRworkflow.com, EHRworkflow is my Twitter tag, 3M, natural language processing. So, well, there is this really, really interesting connection between natural language processing and workflow, which is sort of all over my blog, and I tweet about. For one thing, sequences of words or sequences of sentences resemble sequences of tasks. That is, in the underlying way in which you represent it in the computer. They're called state transition networks. But also, in order to incorporate the workflow into the clinician's user interface, you have to have special workflow sensitive, aware technology. And then also on the back end, they tend to have sophisticated workflow technology, because if it's you got to be able to have layers of quality assurance and then to escalate to someone, perhaps a post editor once in a while, but also you can find things in that text that are worthy of triggering events, and so that's part of complex event processing. Eventing systems are becoming much more popular in healthcare. TIBCO is probably the best known. There's Siemens. Siemens, of course, is one of the earliest users of workflow technology. The Sorian system is based on a classic workflow management system platform that was then adapted to the healthcare context. So it's got process definitions executed by workflow engines, graphical editors, analytics, and so forth. I've got some information on my blog, and I tweet about that. And Siemens Health IT is one of the POW hit profiles. Okay, so we're moving along here. SureScripts, I was involved in an integration effort with SureScripts, and that the technical lead from SureScripts said that we had the best workflow for interfacing with their system that they had seen. I think we could, a refill was like, the refill could be about 3 clicks. Versus 25, 26. I've got documentation out there. They can take that as much as that. API healthcare, that's interesting. API to me stands for Application Programming Interface. I have to come back and parse that out and see how they've used that. Okay, Hill-Rom. An interesting, not workflow technology per se, but the environment and the objects in the environment, the characteristics of those objects, all are relevant to workflow. They're not actually one of the POW hit profiles, but one in a very general and inclusive and expansive notion of improving workflow in healthcare. It doesn't have to be IT. A well-designed, ergonomically designed cart can be just the thing. Epic, Wisconsin. I'm sort of almost from Wisconsin, and I really like the design of their booth, all the stonework and so forth. In previous years, they had kind of a fence made out of stone, and I don't see that here. That's kind of interesting that they've opened it up, so to speak. I wonder if that's a metaphor. Okay, so